Dun, dun, dun. Who wants to be a millionaire? That's what this episode is about. I am about to blow your mind. This video features 12 cards purchased 7 years ago that have yielded a net return to the buyer slash seller. Presumably the same individual purchased all 12 cards. I do not know that for sure, but the evidence is incriminating and substantiated. 12 cards, 7 years, over $1 million in profit, and it may not be the cards that you think they are. It may not be select Tiger Stripe, courtside, field level Baker Mayfields. It may not be Zion. It may not even be Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Stay tuned. You're going to like this video. This is pretty interesting. It's going to be short, but I think it's pretty cool, and a lot of you guys know where I'm going with this. PWCC is a great way to sell your sports cards. If you're looking for a way to support the Cajun Cardboard YouTube channel, consider using the promo code Cajun, all caps, C-A-J-U-N, when you're selling your cards on the PWCC marketplace. Hey guys, Brian with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana, and I had been meaning to put this together for a couple weeks, and then I got sidetracked with the MJ Hierarchy project, which has become a real time sink, but a lot of work and a lot of fun as well. Today's episode is about what I think is one single gentleman in the hobby who purchased a pretty big chunk of PSA 10 1969 vintage basketball tall boys, very low pop, many of them pop 1, not all of them Hall of Famers. In fact, most of them not Hall of Famers. He purchased them in 2016 and recently liquidated many of these cards in a 1969 set break, which, as you know, the PSA set registry is for real. If you're not familiar with it, go on PSA, check out their set registry. I don't partake. I'm not a member of it, but it does call to me. It does appeal to me. And I think that's what drove some of these bananas prices that were paid. These were only cards that were sold in PWCC Weekly or PWCC Premier, and all of them sold in May, June, or this July of 2023. Every single one of these 12 cards was purchased in 2016. The difference between the purchase price of these 12 cards and the sales price of these cards is going to astound you. Let me get you cranking. First, what I've got is I've got Card Ladder pulled up. Let me explain to you what I did and how I put this video together. I searched 1969 Topps PSA 10. However, I didn't want baseball. I didn't want, low-end PSA 10s, if there are any PSA 10 1969 basketball cards. I searched only on the PWCC Weekly and only on the PWCC Premier. These are filters that you can use on Card Ladder in their sales history that you can't use on every other sales data platform that it's out there. Card Ladder lets you kind of filter by auction house. I typed in PSA 10. Obviously, being graded a PSA 10 was a prerequisite to this project. They had to sell for more than $50,000, and they had to sell after January 1st, 2023. So they had to sell this year. Here's the results sorted by price. Of course, a lot of us remember, if you've watched my PWCC weekly auctions, if you watch my PWCC Vintage Premier recap, every Monday I do a PWCC weekly auction top 100 recap. You've seen some of these. I've talked through some of these. I've asked questions like, who the hell are some of these dudes? These are all just 1 year of basketball. 1969, that year the cards were tall. They're called tall boys. This is what they look like. If you've never held one in hand, it's humongous. It's much bigger than your standard card. This in particular is the 1969 Walt Frazier. This is the highest selling 1969 Topps PSA 10 card from the calendar year 2023. And of course, Walt Frazier was in fact a Hall of Famer, and swag, style, ball handling ability, running the point, major market, New York legend, Walt, Cloud the Glide, Frazier, card number 98 in that set sold for $252,000. Oscar Robertson, again, everybody knows the Big O. Many people, and I'm not sure why, mispronounce his last name Robinson. Please get it right. It's not Frank Robinson. It's not Brooks Robinson. It's Oscar Robertson, Mr. Triple-Double before Russell Westbrook came along and took that title. Oscar Robertson averaged a triple-double, of course. Number 50 card in the set, and that's Oscar right there. That card sold for $186,000. Jerry West, another Hall of Famer. Zeke from Cabin Creek, my dad's hero. Jerry West, card number 90 in the set, 1969 Topps, sells for $180,000. These are eye-popping numbers. Willis Reed, $150,000. Nate Thurman, $114,000. So far, I've named only Hall of Famers. Wes Unseld, NBA MVP, and Rookie of the Year in the same season. As a little guy, I say little, he was very wide, but only about 6'7", but he rebounded the hell out of the ball. Kevin Lockery, Jerry Lucas, Dick Barnett, Connie Hawkins, Al Attles, Paul Silas, Ron Williams, Tom Meschery. I'm going down the list. These are the cards. There are 17 cards that sold for over $50,000 in the calendar year of 2023. However, here is the caveat. I did not want to include any cards that were not purchased in 2016. So I've got a spreadsheet that I'm going to share with you. Boom, there it is. It's magic. Even in Louisiana, we have access to what's called Excel or Google Sheets. That's what I've created. You'll see every single card in this column is from 1969. These are all tall boys. Every single card is a PSA 10, as you can see in that column. Every single one of the 12 cards that you see on your screen right here was purchased in the year 2016. This is what the cards were purchased for. All 12 cards were purchased for $78,000. That's a shade. That's right around $8,000 a card. No, that's not right. That's right around $7,000 a card. On average, some of the cards were purchased, and again, I should have, what happened there? I didn't format one of those columns to dollar signs. There we go. 3,055. Some of these cards were purchased for $1,600, $1,600, $1,700, $1,700. Look at the profit margin. This is what they sold for in calendar year 2023. Again, remember, I eliminated all the cards that were maybe had never sold before, right? Or maybe they were bought in the 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever. I didn't want to use those. I only chose these 12 cards that were purchased in the year 1969. And the reason the title to this video is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is because if you look at this column over here, and again, I haven't taken out taxes, I haven't taken out PWCC's percentage of the buyer's premium and stuff like that, but you get my point. $1,040,000 profit margin. Again, this is gross profit margin. So again, you take out your taxes, fine. I could have added 2 more cards and it would have covered the taxes and would have covered the PWCC fees, etc., shipping, whatever the hell you want to call it. Whatever you want to add in there. $1,040,000 profit. $78,000 invested 7 years ago. $1,119,000 gross revenue. When you net out the purchase price from the most recent sale in 2023 for these 12 cards, over $1 million. What about that? What do you guys think? Let me know if you think set collecting is alive and well. Let me know if you think vintage collecting is hot as a firecracker. Let me know if this is a trend that's going to continue. Let me know if you think it's one person that bought all 12 of the cards that you just saw on your screen. I don't know for sure, but if I was a gambling man and you made me guess, I would probably say yes, because it's somebody with FU deep pockets who has decided, you know what, I'm going to have the greatest 1969 Topps Tall Boy basketball set on planet Earth. And so it's fascinating to me. I do not dabble in the world of vintage. The oldest card I have is a 1980 Bird Magic and Dr. J triple autograph rookie card. It's a buyback auto. That is the oldest card that I have in my entire collection. Vintage does fascinate me. I've had Jeff Hart, Patriot Sports Cards, come on the channel. I've talked about vintage cards on the channel before. I've been doing a lot of MJ hierarchy stuff lately. I just thought it was important that I share this spreadsheet with you guys right here and let you know that there are ways in the hobby to make money. And I'm not saying any of us can go do this, because not all of us have 78 grand to go drop on a bunch of vintage commons. And of course, as it stands right now, and again, I know some of these guys are Hall of Famers, but some of these guys, Tom Meschery, Rick Adelman, Ron Williams, Paul Silas is a good player, Connie Hawkins, Al Addles, yeah, some of those guys were Hall of Famers, but if you keep going down the list, some of these cards are selling for 50 grand, and they're very average basketball players. But again, some of these are Hall of Famers, some of these are commons. But I thought it was interesting that somebody dumped in 78 grand, turned it into $1.1 million, and then walked away from the table and dropped the mic. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Hopefully you enjoyed this nice short little video. Keep collecting, stay positive in the hobby. Who wants to be a millionaire? And peace.